Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Fall Guys. We've got 4 new creative rounds. I played each one of them to show you exactly how to qualify. So first up, we've got this bridge level. Now, a lot of people don't seem to know how to play this one. What you want to do is look ahead, and the button directly manipulates the path of the ball. Now this person does not know what to do. So what you want to do is you want to just make sure that that ball can get to the button at the end. That first one's quite easy, a good example. Unfortunately, the other 2 beans in this lobby still didn't really understand what was happening. Bit slow on that one, buddy. So what you want to do is just make sure that the ball has a path when it needs one, and just use the button to make the bridge or take away the bridge. Anything you need to do, you just keep an eye on where that ball is going. This is the 3rd one. This is the only different one because you also have, as well as the bridges, you have the conveyor belts, which are going either left or right. So one button, I think it's the one on the left here, it seems to control the conveyors, and then the one on the right switches between whether the bridges are on or off. Now eventually, when the other players stopped doing too much here, I was actually able to get things working. So you can see the ball in the middle of the screen there. It was spinning the wrong way, but we are at least making the conveyor go to the right. You can see the other bean there still doesn't really know what they're doing, but it's okay. So the ball is just about to land here, which means we need to take away one bridge and then create another bridge. And there we go. That gives us the real bridge in the level to get to the finish line, and that's how you qualify that level. It's a bit of a tricky one. It's very unique. It's a great idea. It's just a little bit difficult to explain, but hopefully that helped. This one's Aeriodeslizador beta. Now there are some issues with this one, namely being if another bean falls off and messes up, they can very easily grief the map and every other bean. Now, no matter how X Games insane you are at video games, this is not really possible to do if they take away all the platforms. So sadly, this just kept happening. I was really trying to qualify on this one for the video. This is a very clever level. It's kind of a survival level made in the race thing, because if you fall off, you're done for. You cannot qualify. You'll see later, don't worry. But it is kind of a shame that any people that mess up can then mess up the entire round for everyone else that is better and is making their way to the end. So these people were really intent on, for some reason, just moving all the blocks off the level. I don't know what they were hoping to achieve. I don't think they even respawn anyway. So I was trying really hard here to continue on my one solitary block. It's harder for them to move a block with me on it because I weigh it down a little bit, which is why I was trying not to jump, because if you jump it's actually easier for them to move. But sadly, in the end, they worked together to take me out. But don't worry, rest assured, this will be a completed run on this level. Yep, me of the past, well done with the farting emotes there. Also, if you wanted to know how to turn on usernames in creative levels, it's kind of bugged at the moment, but you can do it. You just have to go into your video settings and make sure that depth of field is turned on or enabled. Don't know how that relates to names, and specifically names just appearing in creative mode, but it works. So if you want to see names, that's how you do it. Oh look, that person left, which is very nice. They could have been cruel and where is that person going? Who knows? They could have been cruel and started moving all these boxes off of the conveyor belt, but that would have just been horrible. So this level's quite long. I'll just kind of explain how I do this. I like to point the camera down on this section. I find it helps just to be a bit more accurate with where you're moving as a bean. And I'll explain what to do with the next sections as we get to them. So these bits you don't really need to do anything with. You can just kind of avoid them, or you can jump on them. They're not really a big deal. And the punches here, pretty easy to avoid. Just stand kind of in the middle. You'll be absolutely fine. Now, a bit of Fall Guys news as this level continues. I'm going to show you the whole level, but it's quite a long one. So I'll just chat a bit about Fall Guys at the moment. If you have been keeping up with Fall Guys news, you may have heard from the leak community that there is an almost complete build mobile version of this game currently somewhere out there on planet Earth. It exists. When will we see it? Who knows? I don't know how long it takes to get things like this tested. I don't know how complete they mean complete. But I believe that was an Android build of the game, which to me sounds very much like mobile version is getting a lot closer to being ready. Now, in this section you want to stay on the right hand side here, so just over on the right blocks, because there's a quite easy path through all these bouncers, and as long as you don't move too much, just very gently tap the controls when you need to move, you will not get hit. But then you want to go to the left side. You want to really use your camera here to make sure you avoid the axes and time your movement very carefully so that you don't get hit. And also you need to be on the left side anyway, so that you don't have to run across the axes path to make it to the left side of that egg. This gigantic bouncy Easter egg, or whatever you want to call it. And then of course the right hand side for the second one. And that's it. Hopefully this helped you to qualify on this level, as long as not too many other people fell off and messed up the platforms for you. It's a really unique level, it's fun. It's cool to see someone's actually made a survival round in the current creative build. Here's the next one, it's Sea of Terror. Now this is a nice, fun and fast level. Really enjoyable, this one. This is actually my second run through this level, because the first run I just wanted to learn how to play it. And this is, I'd say, a perfected run of the level, so you can see exactly what you need to do. This one's a lot easier than all of the other ones this week, but I want to say, the levels that we have this week are a little bit more difficult than any we've had before, probably. I think each of these levels is a little bit difficult in its own way, but this is probably the easiest one for most people. That little bit there can be a bit tough for people to balance on, but with enough practice you should be able to do it. The fish here are pretty easy, but the tails can kind of throw you off a bit. They're a lot steeper than you'd imagine. You just have to be careful jumping off of them, that you don't dive to the wrong angle or anything. It's quite a challenge at times. Nice little frame one dive at the end there. Now originally I tried bouncing on these things. I think you probably can, but it's quite risky. Now you need to get the speed ring here, because the only way through the finish line is to land on that button. Although actually it isn't. You can actually go to the side of the finish line at the end, and you can kind of jump in between a little gap if you get really stuck. But that's the proper way to do it. Now this is the last level of the ones today. This is officially tagged as hard, and oh my goodness, it is really difficult. This one is super hard, super challenging. You have to be very careful not to get body blocked at the finish line, at the start line, and the finish line there is horrible. It's a little bit of luck right at the end, so even if you time everything perfectly, that can happen. And no one wants that, it sucks. At least people even gave up. And here is one more little example of it, because my goodness, this level is just, it's kind of crazy. So you got to get your timing right, you've got to get your angles right, and you can still very easily just fall. There's so many things you need to know how to do this level, so try it. If you can't do it, don't be too hard on yourself, because it's very hard. And that's about it, really. You got to kind of get a bit lucky at the end. It's really hard to see exactly where to go, and it's just really hard keeping the momentum correct sometimes, and timing your dives to land on everything at the correct point, especially when that's combined with speed. It's just a bit tricky. But anyway, those are the new levels. That's how to qualify on them. If you enjoyed this video, or if it helped you, please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and watch my other videos. See you soon, goodbye.